Good morning. hmm Grand Rising. Who was up at 4:15 a.m.? Good morning. I had slept the majority of yesterday. When I woke up, I feel like I had been asleep like 6 or 7 hours. And I got up, I looked in the bathroom, I looked up, I'm like, oh, it was 10 p.m. Well, I've been up since 10 p.m. I feel like I slept longer than that. hmm Yeah. hmm Let's tell somebody good. hmm Yeah. As I had told you all, I'm gonna try to put a movie out. I don't know, like I said, it might be a cartoon. I'll probably take it through my DC comics. I don't know, cause my other one I did, Soul to Soul through my Pixar about those piano man that died, and it's a very touching cartoon. You know, I went through all life and he had a chance to do what he wanted to do still. You know, it was a point of was he really dead or if he was just temporarily knocked out. It was, it's a nice cartoon through Pixar. So if you have never seen Soul, watch it. You'll like it. My other cartoon I created is Elemental about fire and water. You ought to like it. So, you know, now some people be like, stay away from that person because of this and that. But that fire and water ended up working out. You know, that cartoon was basically like a racism thing, and it worked out just fine. You know, um, what other cartoon is? All my cartoons are like that. Really, it's a point to all of them through Pixar. You know, now my stuff through DC Comics, Warner is very graphic and challenging and the movies that make you be like, ooh, well, if it was a real movie, boy, it really would be into it. hmm You know. This is how it is. Like I told you all, my movie, I'm going to credit that I thought God didn't love me. I can't go. I already told y'all bits and pieces how I may go, but it was just the point of, can I join you? You can send me something. That I don't want to do any games or anything like that, but you can. You can send me a request, and that's to what's that name? Ambry. Okay. So, but like I told you, the name I was going to be. I thought God didn't love me. You know. Yeah. It's going to be made to where that children and adults can enjoy it, like people enjoy, my other stuff. You know. I try to make cartoons and movies, whereas that when you watch it, you'll be like, I seen it at the movies, but I wouldn't mind owning it. You know. hmm I wouldn't mind owning it. And what it is. Home features. Or you wouldn't mind seeing it again, for some of you all have Disney Channel. I mean the Disney app. Some of you all have the Warner app watching DC Comics. It just goes on and on, you know. Or some of you all just go ahead and buy it, but you all enjoy watching it. Okay. Can I see your shoulder, please? Oh, yeah. Oh, I got cancer. hmm Yeah, there you go. That happens. hmm So when I break out and all that type stuff, it was worse than this. It sure was. You know, it's all up here and all right here. At first, this side had already kind of cleared up, and then once it came back a little bit. hmm Yeah. I had to watch it, like when I be in the tub in the shower. See, this arm was looking real bad. Like this one, well, this don't look as bad as it did at first. And but this one, um, done clear it up a little bit. It's not, yeah. hmm But like I said, my chest right here has started breaking out again. Yeah, it's all right here. Yeah. hmm I just got a lot of symptoms and stuff. Like I was telling you all, I have leukemia, was born with it. I have severe allergies, you know. Now, just about an hour, I'm gonna tell you how bad my eating is. Sometimes I can't eat some stuff, but the main thing is I can eat pork meat. I can eat pork chops, but I can't eat pork steak. I can eat chicken, but it depends on tell me more. Oh no. So and I eat chicken a lot. I have no problem with chewing and eating it. None whatsoever. No. Um, cabbage don't give me a problem. Mm, black eyed peas, stuff like that. Um, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, stuff like that really don't give me a problem. I'm talking about sometimes it gets to the point where it's that I really don't be wanting no meat though, you know. And I used to be on an all vegetable kick, all vegetable, you know. And I would do broth, bone broth, and all that stuff in a can and buy it and drink that for my protein, you know. And sometimes my stomach would hurt real bad when I eat, and I'd be like, okay, I can't have no but liquids, and that's when I would make protein shakes and all that type of stuff. I would have shakes already made in the refrigerator. I'd make like 40 at one time, like, had the bottles and everything. And that's when I came up, and guess what I developed? Atkins. Atkins, Akins, protein shakes and candy bars and all that type of stuff. I created in all Atkins. Yep. Because everybody says that tastes so good. That tastes good. That tastes good. Well, hmm like I said, I used to do all that to eat like beets and squash and, like I said, a lot of cabbage and Brussels sprouts and a list of asparagus. I just hate the way asparagus has you smelling. Like when you go pee and stuff, tastes good, but it smells bad. You know. And I don't eat asparagus. I ain't ate no asparagus in a while, but you know, I used to be eating. Everybody, what in the world is that? Let nobody know what asparagus was. Yeah. hmm I had met this man that had a garden. Cause I used to have my little garden at the house, but it didn't work good. And I met this man. They lived in this place called Golden Garden. I went outside. People lived outside, and they had this over there by Frank Home State Park, which is considered Centerville area. And all that they have all them greens off there, cabbages and watermelons, all I can't eat greens. Mm-mm. Not at all. I cannot eat greens like I cannot eat pork steak. But I should go out there and I get like 4 or 5 bushels of corn and that corn on the cob. Well, me and my kids will run through that. Then I end up buying a lot of property. Y'all buying stuff too. Yeah. hmm Like I told you, like some of I'll be venting and stuff. Everybody want bad. Everybody want bad. hmm But you can never, I guess. had a run in of people following me, you know. And then if they needed to stop that, so I'm down here in Florida. If I see them down here, Lord, they now by right and law notice I can hurt them because I've did it too many times. Stay out my face. They was never these. Some of these people were students of mine because I was a teacher. Someone was patients of mine because I was a psychologist and psychiatrist. Some of them just people who I met at random from being at my clubs. Um, People who came out towards me because of the positions that I held. You understand what I'm saying? They were never my friends. These people, some of them just were some stalkers. I mean, never dealt with anything in their life. They just kept trying to hang with me because of who I am. And I'm like, I don't do what y'all do. Y'all do other stuff too and all that. And I was like, oh, y'all think I am? Some people. I'm like, do y'all know how old I am? You know? And it took for the other kids in the neighborhood. That's our doctor. Why y'all talking to our doctor? You know, kids, people that go to school with them, they in high school. Why she don't go to school? I've been out of school since the 70s. What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Mm-hmm. My son Bruno coming home with his friends. Oh man, your sister, this, and he got some sisters. He be like, who you talking about, Kyrie? I know you ain't talking about my little sisters, man. Man, you better not touch my tongue. She like my little sister. They arguing. So I'm not talking about your sister in the kitchen. They come in the kitchen, ain't nobody but me, Kyrie, his sister. They eating. And he ain't gonna eat until, his friends leave. He's like, Mom, I hope they ain't talking about you. Talking about my son Bruno Mars. Mom, I hope they ain't talking about you. And they were. So I'm thinking, one little boy, he never was disrespectful or nothing. The single Trey song, him and Bruno, all of them used to hang together. Little Dirk hanging with my other sons, Lil Wayne, them, all of them. You know, my cousin Boo Mystical, that's my cousin on my daddy's side. His daddy, okay. My granddaddy had a cousin named Charles. Okay, my granddad, which may kill my cousin. Boo, which is Mystical, daddy was my cousin Charles' brother. So he calling him Uncle Charles, and I'm calling him Cousin Charles. Okay, all the time he old man. So, but y'all, you see what I'm saying? Because everybody's like, hi, I'm like, nah, I'm not no cancer, nobody else in their family, too, mystical family or none of that. No, I'm not no cancer, mom and them and his people. No, we just some cancer. His daddy was my cousin Charles' brother. And on his daddy dead. But anyway, so Trey Thomas was coming over all the time and all this stuff. I'm in the room. And we was at my house on Kansas Avenue. So yes, Bruno could have used the bathroom upstairs because his other friend was using the bathroom downstairs was taking too long. You know what he was doing? Number two. Man, he taking too long. So he come upstairs and yeah, that's me coming up the steps, because that's what I tell them. Say say you on your way up the steps or something. So I get off work at 8, I go in my room and cut off the light. That don't mean I'm asleep. Sometimes. Majority of the time I'll be asleep though, for real. So somebody come up self ain't nobody. So I'm like, Bruno, that's you. Bruno, I'm saying no, Bruno on my side. He told Bruno he couldn't use the bathroom. Miss Trey Songz. The single Trey Songz. And they also used to hang around the singer Tyrese. Mm-hmm. I'm from Bruno that old. I've been on Tyrese that long too. All of before they became singers, rappers, everything. But my baby Bruno been on TV since he was a little boy. First show he was on was Arsenio Hall show. So Trey Songz come up my steps. Come in my room. Okay, well he had to come up my steps to come in my room. I see my door open. I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong with him? He ain't saying nothing. Shut the door, pull the cover, and jumps on top of me. It was straight on. I'm like, what the hell? I done got him up off of me. And I did not care for him. You know, when Bruno was mad, they got into it or whatever. And Trey Songz talking Trey. Oh, I just came over here to get on her. I thought that was your sister. I thought you was mine. Regardless of the fact, you don't do that to people. And then we went to court. That's when his mama found out I was a judge. See, his mama and them knew I was a doctor. She knew. Yeah. But when they found out I was a judge too, his mama trying to lie and cover up. Yeah, he had to go to detention until he turned 18. Now, I could have further sentenced him to continuation as an adult in due time too. You know, but my son Bruno was mad as hell. You know. hmm Especially he was like, I was just coming over to get on your sister. And the judge said, do you ever go to the doctor? Young man, she work at the emergency room. She a doctor. And I was the only doctor really around. I seen all patients from 0 to 99. I delivered babies and everything. That's what the judge was looking at. The judge asked his mom, has he ever been to the doctor? Now, I don't think his mama before. hmm Yeah. So, but like I said, I'm gonna do that movie. Of course, so how God did love me. It's gonna be a lot about me going through stuff when I got cancer when I was born and how my mom and dad them was and other some stuff I can't put in there. As I told you, um, when I was born with two things or other things. My body was fully blessed with everything. Yeah, it's some things when you're born, when you're being born, doing development within a womb. Some things come together, some things disappear, and this is a turn to this. That my body won't let nothing go, won't let nothing go, and I actually am considered a mutant. hmm Now, when it came to uh, the mutant shows and all that stuff, yeah, even Mutant Ninja Turtles, all that, I created all that stuff. hmm Then we have Storm and all that other stuff. Yeah, I created all the cartoons about mutants. hmm Yeah, X-Men, I created that stuff. hmm When it came to more horror flicks, even comedy, I always had my kids involved in it too. You know, especially creating scary stuff. I'm talking about, I'm gonna tell you now, my kids was little, they was in my others, they was in elementary, you know. Bruno helped sometimes make some noise and stuff. He's like, Mom, I ain't got time for that, you know, 'cause he's older, you know. From other babies, I could tell them they had their little friends over there spend the night. I was like, you know what? They little bad boys. They always running through the house, making noise, slamming doors, and I thought, I don't fix their butts. So to all they little friends, said, tell your mama y'all can spend the night, just bring you a blanket, and a pillow. But everybody came over. Did nobody get no sleep? No, they didn't get no sleep. I'm like, wake up, we can have some fun. Shoot, you got to finish slamming these doors and stomping. We can do this. I ain't saying that's what you do at your mama house around her. We can do all that around her. Make those stuff and just don't throw at the windows. And this point, we're going to go outside and we're going to need y'all to, just all types. So hit these buckets. Because see, I needed some sounds for my movie. That's why sometimes when you listen to any movies that I made, especially more horror, it sounds real because those are real sounds I made. So by the time Sunday comes, they go home. We'll have our, because I'm a minister, we'll have service. And then they'll eat and go home. They be so tired. Couple went home. One of the girls going to call me. She said, girl, they so tired. I said, I bet they something they ain't been asleep. You won't let them go to sleep. All you did was fed them, had them running through the house. She said, no, everybody heard them all. But she said she was sitting outside with her man just laughing her butt off because she heard, she knew what she was doing. 2 in the morning, all that noise. And I said, Miss Shonda done let us go to sleep. Miss Shonda keep making us run and stuff and hit on stuff. I told her, we don't do that type stuff. Mama gonna get her. She said they was just saying they was so mad. She said, before she know it, we're gonna take y'all stuff home in the house. And she said, she looked, it was knocked out on that living room floor. Everybody called, girl, thank you. Girl, thank you. Hope they stay asleep until they go to school in the morning. I said, they probably will. They ain't been asleep since Friday. hmm Yeah, but I could pay the kids for them. They give them a little money. And then still just to make noises. But that's how I used to get them. So whenever I did movies or whatever, I grab all those kids, have them making noises. If it ain't no but laughing sounds and all that type stuff, they got paid. I give them a check. hmm I give them a check. Yeah. hmm Some of those dismemberment that you see in the movies, like somebody's foot cut off and all that. Those kids. hmm Yeah, like in Saw. Yeah. hmm And Jason and Freddy Krueger. I made Halloween, all that stuff. Even Creepshow. Y'all remember Creepshow? Mm-hmm. One episode got everybody the one about the funeral home. Some guys broke in because some dude they supposed to have that stuff or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they end up getting killed. And then, so, during their judgment, it came through about them wanting that stuff. It played as if that God was telling them what they had done did, and the devil like, God, they did this, they did that. That's why I be telling people, don't never say the devil made you do it. What it is, the devil makes you be bold about your acts. As they tell you in the Bible, I ain't gonna go on to preaching, but they tell you in the Bible that the God, that the devil is one of God's favorite angels. He was not trying. If now time was the devil trying to take God's spot. The devil just felt that he gave too many. Some people the gift of choice. Some people shouldn't have it. People was lying and all that stuff, acting like they helping people and all that. I see that's what hurts society currently. People out here acting like they doing ministry and pastoral work and being great deacons and all, and they doing nothing but failing. Not really helping nobody. And that's what the devil was telling God. They're lying. Watch this. Watch this. Yeah, and then what it is that the devil don't see them do that before, or watch their acts. hmm So when it came to Adam and Eve biting the apple, well, it was already people around. It was the point of they already had done did it before, but this time God watched, and God let him see that I see you all. So when God seen it, and the devil showed it, their eyes were opened. You understand? Because God seen our acts. Because the devil said, God, look, I told you. I told you. So that's what it is. So when people acting like they doing all this stuff for charity and acting like they helping people, and I bust them people out. Be like, if you don't stop all that lying that God think you doing right, acting like you helping people, bust them out. If somebody come in your face, oh, act like I did. Don't act like they did nothing to help you. Don't you ever claim that somebody helped you who didn't. Don't do that. Don't let God get them that gratitude as if their works will not go unnoticed. Do not give them gratitude, okay? That they works are not going unnoticed. Because ain't nothing to notice there. It never helped. It never helped. Never did anything right. They only did things to towards you to act like they're helping you. But all they did was help themselves. You know, that's all they did. I would never give thanks to nobody. You know. Yeah. Now, as I told you all, I got a lot of property I own, rental property, and people just moved up on my property, did all stuff to these city halls, not realizing that I have an agreement with the federal government. hmm I done did so much stuff for society as far as creating employment, creating stability, you know, and gave people something to look forward to when they graduated from colleges and universities. They were able to be being taught new and other trades, you know. I created positions within a government that need to be looked at a different way. I create I created things to make things minimal. hmm You know, to cut down a lot of overusage of some things. hmm You know, one in particular, emails that already existed for use within certain companies and government. I created email for the public. I'm the one that said, hey, we can cut down and track down a lot of stuff. Because a lot of people's having fun with mail and all this stuff. People call, well, you got a position and we've been sending you letters for a long time and they might have happened. Now here I am on companies. I was going through stuff too. People sending me responses and stuff. I'm sitting around waiting on the mail like, oh my God. So, I told you I own UPS and FedEx. I started telling everybody, hey, you can send that stuff through that. And if my employees don't get it right, ooh, I can prosecute them. I better take where it's supposed to be. They still have to do a federal background check to work for UPS and FedEx. I created and on Amazon. When I first got Amazon started, it was in Time magazine. hmm Yes, the world interview and everything. Even to the point where they had a notation in there that the government was trying to make me use it, was telling me to use the name of Shonda Farmer. All that was in there to, short and brief so everybody can know, hey, that I am Dr. Shonda Williams, Esquire, the Queen. See, I'm a real queen, you know. And all of that was in there and bits and pieces about other stuff in my life. And how I'm a wonderful person. I'm a God loving woman. And I'm just like anybody. My feelings get hurt too, especially when you're doing the right thing. You know? I never told anybody that they had to kiss my butt to hold this position or this, that. No, that's not me. You keep your positions because you do your job. Anybody else that's been employed by me, no, no. Shoot, people used to win vacations and sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I can't give everybody a raise, but I'm gonna give everybody something at one time. You know? And that was me. That was me. You know? Someone will come to me, nah, I want no vacation. I don't want to go here and there. Can I just get that money? Or they're on that vacation? Sure. You know? Yeah. I'm very appreciative, you know. And I have to remind my employees, guess what? I'm not done. Because, see, I was doing all that stuff at home by myself. I just needed some help. And I found I had some people around here that knew how to do it, some people I could train to do what I was doing, some stuff. That's all it is. That's all it is. Stuff is expanding. And you fit the criteria, you say you are willing to be trained, okay, let's go for it. But don't think I don't know what's going on within my company. You know? Mm-hmm. And that's the truth. Mm-hmm. Don't never think that the owners don't know about their business. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm talking like the movie Friday. You know, well, you didn't know, you may or may not know. And I made that movie Friday. You know, the part when Q got when it first started off, how he got fired on the day I bought some boxes. Yeah, I did that to a dude before. Called him, he picked up a check. But in the movie, it's so crazy. Now, he just got paid, but he ain't got no money now. But anyway, it didn't go like that. The dude was always he did the stocking and stuff. So when delivery trucks come in, you go in the area in the grocery store. Anybody know how the grocery stores work? Any stores. The delivery trucks come in, you count everything, make sure that they dropping off what they supposed to deliver. You know, take the SKU numbers, make sure it's what it's supposed to be. You know, and he was taking boxes out. Boxes are heavy. No box in the world is heavy. I don't care how big it is. Sometimes it can be heavy. I mean, big, too big to be like carrying like this. You just drag them. I don't play that. To say that stuff can be involved in that. He knew that. Because I explained to them why some other people got fired. Because if they was doing it, pull out of boxes at one time and sit them by the dumpster, and I got all these boxes back there, and I caught some boxes with some stuff on it. Okay, they want to play. So I'm watching my cameras. I go up there, break down the boxes, and put them in a white clear trash bags, and then throw them in the dumpster. And that was my training for my little person. He tried me. He grabbed a box. This is what he did. He picks it up. I'm like, why do I keep struggling with that box on the ground? Now he did put some other boxes in there, but it wouldn't be heavy. Oh no, ain't no box heavy like that. But you gotta pick it up like with a face on it. Oh no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And I watched him a little bit when he was carrying out the door. So he gave it a bit. I thought maybe farted or something when he bent over. You know, for making jokes while he doing stuff. Oh no, it was something in the poor fired him. Yeah, he had the easiest job in the world. All he had to do was when the trucks come in, make sure everything was right there, and he go out there and check the floor. Deliveries came in, 2 or 3 days off a week to just make sure that's okay. He'll check the floor, and other people that do help with the floor work, keep the shelf stocked, and stuff like that. You know, that's all he had to do. That's all. Oh, where I'm originally from, I was actually born in Jamaica. Hmm. Yeah, that's where I was born at. And my dad came back to the United States with me and my mom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cause he had business here, own companies and all this other stuff we had to do. So of course he's gonna bring his first and only child and his first and only wife. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of people used to be thinking also on Louisiana, cause that's where my cousin moved. Oh, we from New Orleans. We from New Orleans, but we was had just came from New Orleans. We was down there with Charles. His Uncle Charles and my cousin Charles the same person. We was with Charles. Now, Charles taught me a lot of stuff. I told you at the same time I was kind of sheltered a little bit on certain things, but it was a good thing. I didn't know what sex was or none of that. I'm serious as hell. Before my mom and them was living high, I'm 12, 13. I didn't know nothing about no sex or none of that. I had never been touched or anything for sexual wise. I didn't know nothing about that. I knew things of like women got breasts. I knew nothing about titties. Your butt. I didn't know nothing about ass. Your vagina. You know, you can say all this. I didn't know those other times. You know, somebody come again, somebody come here. What the hell is that? My cousin, Boo didn't know nothing either. We asking Charles everything. We didn't know nothing about none of that. We didn't know nothing about none of that. Charles school, this fella stuff, and this, and all this and that. Hmm. Hmm. And I didn't know nothing about no food stamps and all that other stuff. Yeah. Charles was just telling us a bunch of stuff. 'Cause I could go to the store every day. The store was at the corner. And you have to cross the street or nothing. It's on the same street, you know, them long blocks. But it was at the corner. Yeah, but you go to the store every day and spend that cash. And Boo, he ain't know nothing about food stamps or none of that either. So every time he would give us food stamps to go to the store with, we had cash all the time. And we'd just spend our cash and this friend work at the store. Well, they still don't understand about the food stamps. I don't know why they won't spend the food stamps, you know. And then I said, well, we walked in here that day. You told us you couldn't take it. He said, no, I couldn't take it that day because I didn't have change for that. I have to give you back food stamps. I said, what's up? Okay. So what we used to do, I always had board games and stuff. And we always played, you know, the board games, Scrabble and all that other stuff. But we always played for money, you know. So we'll take the game of money off of Monopoly and all the other games and use the food stamps, you know. And so like, why y'all got the food stamps? What food stamps? What is food stamps? You know, we started talking to them. Oh, we talking about that funny money. That's what we used to call it, funny money. Hmm. But anyway, so I ended up being in East St. Louis, Illinois, and I met a lot of people that was coming to my stores. Okay. Now here I got stores. Now I knew about it, but I didn't know what to do with stuff with food stamps. You know, that's when food stamps came in the book and did a turn out put in the register. And everybody, I was like, I don't take those. I don't know what you're supposed to do with those. Everybody, you got a store. Everybody get food stamps. Yeah, I don't know what y'all gonna do, you know, because I really didn't know what to do with food stamps. I knew what to do with cash. You know, at the end of the day, take it to the bank. I knew that. I knew to count this. I knew to have a receipt, bundle up with this, and I knew all that. I knew day-to-day business. I didn't know nothing about no food stamps. And this is the family. I really just said no. So I went to the place. I said, where y'all get it from? Anyway, where y'all get the food stamps from? They say from the aid office. Oh, I said they got assistance program for. I mean, I'm trying to find out what's going on because I did not know. So the aid office was like 2 blocks, 2 or 3 blocks from my store, one of my stores. And I went, talked to him, okay, got that stuff straight up. So I started taking food stamps. And and I also straightened out a bunch of more stuff because I started working at the aid office. Hmm. So I was able to tell people a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm so glad shit. They was like, "We're so glad you knew about food stamps and medical card and all this stuff." And I was already going to school to be a doctor. Okay. So when me learning about food stamps and working at the public assistance office and learning about medical cards and all this stuff, it helped me more to understand about, you know, for us with the building process of being a doctor and all that. I'm talking about I went so far into the management part of being a doctor. I ran a hospital. I ran St. Mary's Hospital in East St. Louis and lifted it up. I'm talking about when that hospital started looking good, everything was fully staffed. It was open 24 hours now. Oh, I had a big change in that neighborhood. Everybody was like, man, and she know what she be doing. I sure did. I sure did. Hmm. Yeah. I done did a lot of positive things to help a whole lot of communities. You know, I help stop people, I help people so they didn't have to wear glasses no more and all this stuff. I created laser eye surgery. Yes, I did. A lot of people, with diabetes that didn't like the shots, they were so happy I created metformin. If you take it right, some doctors be prescribing it wrong. But them people, my patients, knew what to do. hmm You know, one doctor gonna write me a script for it, and I'm telling them that's what I need. Okay, okay, they write the script. Why don't you doubt me about me and I'm a doctor? I'm a world-renowned doctor. I made that medicine. I know what to do. And you can tell when it's too much for a person or too less. That's what to do, you know. And the metformin will empty your body. hmm But at the same time, you gotta still watch the sugar and everything. And there's so much stuff out here that's sugar free. Now, sometimes when it says no additional sugars added, just natural, no further, you have to read it because some things make sugar on its own. You know, you get the thing where it says sugar, you might have 2 grams, 1 gram, whatever, because it's naturally already in there. Then it also to say sugar added. Okay, now that's what you might see some on a product when they say sugar added because that's what they put in. Okay. Now you have applesauce, no sugar in it. We have plenty of sodas, cola, like let me see. You see that right there? There's no you like cola? Sam's Cola. I sell it at because I own Walmart and Sam's Club. No sugar in it whatsoever, and you can tell. Another product, Sprite. Diet Sprite, no sugar. Yeah, see, this is what I drink too. There's no sugar in it whatsoever. Yes, zero sugar. Look, zero. Yep, and then also on here, what it says, 0 calories. hmm The same way with the Sam's Cola, zero, zero. You know. hmm I also had created liposuction, mommy makeovers, a safer way for people to get butt lifts and all that. Breast enhancements and all that. People was using them gel shots and doing all that stuff that was harming these people's body, turning them up, all made stuff better. Fat transfer. You got a lot of women that's, heavy like me, and doctors are able now to take the fat from their arms, their stomach, and all that. They go inject it in, they run the test on and make sure everything is, it came from your body, you know, and we'll inject it into your butt or into your breast if that's what you want. If not both. Depends on how much fat you got in your body, you know. hmm I also created Ozempic, Wegovy, all that stuff. I created that. Now the whole time, all this stuff was going on while I'm creating stuff for the medical community. I too used my stuff just a little bit, to see what was going on. The only thing I did never use myself uh, was the laser eye surgery, you know. But everybody that got paid and actually needed the surgery, it worked just fine. It worked just fine. It really did. I'm like so proud of me, but I'm just in a sad mood because everybody, my children's fathers are there. They know that. And they know I love my babies and play my kids against me. I'm like, give my kids so I can go. Don't be just popping up over my house. I ain't had no relationship with them. Just come over me. No. No. I don't like you like that. That's over with. I got pregnant and that's over. And it's just how I am. I'll be honest with you. Not saying like I was a whore, didn't know nobody's name. I pray that for these people to be out of my life. I still got, I don't even want to know their name, where they live at, what they do, what make them smile, what make them hurt. I didn't want them to do nothing with my kid, father, or something. I did not want, I don't. It didn't mean me no good. Because every time I trust them, their life was on a different track than mine. I mean, I was heading to success. My name was already out there. I was doing so much. I was doing music and, movie stuff. I'm doing plays and I'm helping out the kids in the neighborhood. And, I'm talking about very active. I got bands coming through and I'm going to colleges. I'm the one started that when the bands was about other bands for universities and stuff like the UAPB, these black colleges. I started all that. I'm the one that started that. The hypest, the hypest people that attend those colleges and all that. They actually was getting, money and rewards and all that type stuff. I be serious about all that. I mean, I'm always had been a go getter. Like I say, everybody wasn't bad. Everybody wasn't. I bring carnivals to the neighborhood, selling stuff dirt cheap. Every time I bring the carnival twice a year, it was cheap. They can get 2 bags of popcorn for a quarter. It don't take much to make popcorn. And they get candy for a little or nothing and this, that, and the other. But all the kids used to be there. I had horses and all that stuff. Just let the kids get on the horse for free, but have somebody right there. You have to get to ride the horse with somebody else. hmm I remember when I played to sorority deltas, everything was kind of okay. I'm talking about, boy, I had pumped up St. Louis. That's when I put St. Louis on the map and the ATL. I pumped that up. And down here in Florida, we with all these shows and everything is me. That's how a lot of people know me for. I pumped St. Louis up, ATL, and Miami. I pumped all that up. When they was having them freak nicks and all that, I'm the first one started all that. I brought so much business, so much, so much. hmm Yeah. But like I said, I had, I played for Delta, I had the other bands coming through, everything was coming through St. Louis. I don't care if it was a white college, come on through Arizona. Come on through here. Yeah, everybody be in these parades. They out there got they cheerleaders, everybody out there doing flips. I'm out there with them. I'm out there with them because I knew how to do all that stuff too. And they knew my stuff. Oh, we used to be jamming out there. Yes, we did. They went me on and top of the line stuff. I owned Dillard's, Macy's, Famous Boy, everything had started there. I had downtown St. Louis pumped. When I built St. Louis Center, that mall, oh, it used to be packed. It was just a mall, but just people came because I built it. They say, Shonda did what? Oh, we got to go see what's going on. We got to see what's going on. I bet she got a sale. You know how she is. People come because of me. Yeah, people came because it was me. And I love that. you know. And everybody used to come because they said, yeah, because you never know who you'll see in the mall. Hey, man, go such and such. And but I tell them, when you see these famous people come through, that's don't rush. You're like, hey, you doing autograph or something? You know, talk to them. Don't just rush them. You scare people like that, no matter who they are. You know. And I also had St. Clair Square Mall in Fairview Heights, Illinois, was kind of open, but they closed it. They weren't getting no business. I'm talking about that mall was terrible, but it had the space, everything. They had the idea of the construction to put something out, but they didn't know what to do. And I came in because I own so much stuff. I own series and all that. You know, and I own dealers. Then my famous boy turned to Macy's and all this other stuff, but it was famous boys like all me. Then we went over there in Missouri to Wood River Mall. and all this other stuff. Then I get a call, hey, we gonna build that big old Mall of America in Minnesota. You gonna put some stores in there? I say, yeah. I got 50 stores in Mall of America. You know? Yeah, people know me. I'm about business. I'm about employment. But I had to slow down a little bit because people playing games with my kids, doing shit to try to turn me down. And I heard them talking. I said, Lord, and I hate to you all. You can imagine what was coming through my head and out my mouth. And you know what? And I told the government, and they know this. The government know. As if I could think so evil about creating a movie, what you think I do to a real person? For real. They better quit playing me about my kids, and if my kids are alive, you better set them free. And I told them, and that's the same thing Steve Wolf will say. Kept asking them, where my kids at? Because we found out the other judges and everybody was in on this shit with Barack Obama them and Donald Trump now. Joe Biden now. Where the hell is my kids? Why y'all trying to keep me held down in the community and searching for stuff? I won't worry about what nobody else is doing no more because I brought happiness and employment and enjoyment in the communities where people could, and everything was reasonably priced. Everybody was getting along with their life and things was getting better for everybody. Then we had people, oh, we gonna do this, we gonna round her, so she won't, you can't stop me from being the queen of my own country that I built. I built that from the land up. My country was not destroyed by famine or war or anything. It was never nothing there. It was never nothing. I took my money from construction workers and people who can deal with sand and water. And it's beautiful. Crime is low. There's no crime. Very little, and if something happened, they get caught real quick. Or we're not going to wait around and let me see if they do it. No, we're going to get it right now. You're going to get sent home. But it depends on what your crime is. Because if you break somebody or touch anybody that don't want to be touched in my country, you're going to jail immediately. And there's cameras everywhere. Cameras everywhere. You know? You know? Safety for everybody. Men, women, and children. You can't be gay there, though. No homosexuality. Because that can cause problems, too. And you don't know what I'm talking about. Because some people be lying. You know? You know, I know the rules of getting hotels and getting hotels there too. No homosexuality in my country. No, you can worship your God as still in all is still only one God. But if you want to be Muslim, you can go ahead over there and worship. Okay. But the thing is about Jehovah's Witness stuff, we do not. I do not allow people to just walk up to people hand them stuff and talk about this. They don't know. No, you have a choice. You know that this is here, this, and you're more than welcome to go into a synagogue or whatever is around to see what's going on. And you don't have to join those people. You do not have to be a part of it because you're curious about what's going on, about how they're worshiping God. You know? But there's no homosexuality there. I seen a video where they had the maid in one of my stores, in my Gucci store. The guy is on there kind of being feminine and doing gay stuff. And he did that on purpose. The commercial still is there that's floating around, but I got rid of him. And he did that on purpose. Because I was just trying to see, was this thing? Oh no, don't test my gangster. You know. Now you could be with your partner, your husband or wife. You know, you can hold hands. You can give somebody a little. You can give that person a kiss on the cheek just because you're happy right now or something. But there is no grabbing on the butt and the breast and doing all that stuff. None of that. Because we don't want to promote confusion. So I don't want anybody to be actually trying to rape somebody, trying to play it off. Oh no, we together, and you know how that can go. That happens too. You know, that type of stuff happens. Life happens. I haven't been through a lot. I told you I've been out of high school since the 70s. And, yeah, I had a lot on my mind and some things I can't forget, and I never will. I'm the only child. I'm the only child. My mom, dad, and my brother did. They've been gone since since the 70s. And my grandmama, people on my dad's side, I just wish they was around to see what I accomplished. They didn't go wrong with me. They taught me so much. And other stuff I taught myself. They taught me comprehension. They made sure my comprehension was well. They used to tell me so much. My granddad used to tell me this. And I used to cry so much about this and that. I'm not gonna go into detail, like I said. It's gonna work their way out. It's gonna into my movie. Quite soon. Everything God loves me. You have to remember, you have to help God help you. You always gotta talk up for yourself. And not despise a pastor or a minister. Why would somebody, a pastor or a minister, tell you to shut your mouth about your business and you don't mind sharing it? That ain't no good. That ain't no good. If a pastor or a minister did tell you to shut your mouth about your business, yeah, yeah. Or anybody, because it's your business. Make you think they be in on the stuff, the hurt that you going through. It's obvious, you know? It's obvious. Because how can my business bother you? Lord, always, Lord gave you the answer. I always gave me the answer because it was them that was involved in it too. That's why. Okay. I'm gonna get off of it though. I gotta go pee and I'm not gonna be like some people hold on and go in the bathroom and all that type stuff. And I gotta go pee. I'll probably get back on here.